Hi, hello everyone. Today we speak a little bit about house cleansing because it's something that we underestimate and we really don't know how much is important to keep the place where we live, where we spend the majority of our time clean from an energetic point of view. And sometimes we always think that we have to have time, that we are too much overwhelmed, but then we accumulate toxin, negative thoughts, being busy, having our monkey mind, having all our words that are actually acting like arrows towards other people, and we receive them backwards as well. So we don't realize how much is important to dedicate at least once a week or worst scenario once a month time, first of all, to clean from a practical point of view our home, our spaces, because to have the full effect of energy cleansing we need to be able to first physically clean the spaces, open the windows at least for 15 minutes, and then once we decide to go around the spaces and concentrate our attention, especially in our bedroom, because that has the power to affect our dreams, the way we are sleeping, and the room which is normally the sitting room where we are spending the majority of our time. And we can start doing that in a variety of ways. We can use the sound. For example, we can use Tibetan singer bowls, or we can use something like the rain stick, or we can use the chime, or we can use the rattle, or if we don't have any sound instruments, we can simply use the power of words, which necessarily I would recommend to use mantras that can be something very simple like Om, which is a very powerful and universal effect, is the primordial sound, or specifically for the cleansing, the Buddhist mantra Om Ah Hum, which is something that we would say when we need to offer also something when, for example, in Buddhism we need to clean the little bowls that then we would fill with water in our offer. Before doing that and before cleaning them with the incense, we would use the mantra Om Ah Hum in general. So we can go around our home saying this mantra. We can use our voice, so with words that we think are placing our intention to clean, so we can just be creative in what we are saying. We can use clapping, so we can use our hands in a very easy way as well. Otherwise, we can use elements from the earth, so we can use pine needles or a little bit of salt or soil. We can just put a bowl in some corners of our different rooms. We can use the element of air, so a very powerful way would be to use the sage, which compared to normal incense is really specifically for cleaning the air and the vibrations around us. Otherwise, some people normally ask me, but can I use the Palo Santo? The Palo Santo is fine, but it's specifically more to give us that sort of inspiration, that creativity, to boost the level of an energy a little bit up, while the sage is specifically for cleansing. If you don't have anything, better than nothing, you can just use a normal incense, but it has to be ideally something like the resins that have a strong smoke, because at least the air would be full of the smoke, which is of course like a pleasant flavor as well. Then we can use the element of water, so we can use some holy water that can also be reproduced by if you have either some holy water, you can put some drops into mineral bottle of water, ideally in a glass bottle, and just leave that over there for one night. Or we can use again clear water, and we can direct our vibration, our intention with the voice, with our words, to the water, so that it can be charged. So the little cells of water would be charged with the power of what we are sharing. So if in that case we are asking through prayers, that we are asking the water to be an element that will help us to purify our home. Where when I mean also purify, it doesn't mean necessarily to remove unpleasant spirits or ghosts, the so-called ghosts, but it's simply to remove that energy, so that the positive energy that is already present in our home would just be increased, and the level of our energy would just be a little bit upwards, so that everything is affecting us, and it will also have an effect on our way of being, simply still at home. Another way, we can use the element of fire. So we can use a candle, so holding the candle in our hands, and we can go around home with our candles. Or we can use elements of nature, so we can take a bowl, put some flowers, or a bowl with some offer. That can be beans, that can be rice, can be grains. So the element of offer is an extremely important element in spirituality in general, but also important element in shamanism, because we would offer something to our spirit. It's very beautiful to consider that sometimes when we don't have anything, or we want to offer something that ourselves consider negative, but it's not, we can also offer our attachment, something that, for example, is a false belief that we have in our life, something that we think is true, that we believe is true, that is affecting us, that it's a label and a judgment of us. We can offer that. And we simply place that in our hand, closing our eyes, and we just repeat this simple mantra, which is to you, to you, to you. And we offer this to our spirit, to the universe, to nature, to whatever you believe. And just by this simple action, or you can also use, for example, crystals to purify your home. You can place something like very good, it could be big pieces of tourmaline, which is a black crystal, and you can place them around the corners of your home, so that they would absorb the energy, especially near the main door, and they would just act like sponges, like they would do stones in general. What is important with the crystals, because then they become full of our negative energy, is to cleanse the crystals as well, so to purify the crystals as well. Be careful that not all the crystals like water. So the one of the easiest way would be just to pass sage around the crystal. If the crystal likes water, you can of course place it inside water. In the specific case of the tourmaline that I was mentioning, tourmaline likes a lot to be buried, literally, in the soil. And it's beautiful then, after we have cleansed the crystal, to recharge them. So a good opportunity could be, for example, the day before a full moon, we cleanse our crystals and then we place it outside, so that the light, even if it's cloudy, doesn't matter, it will still be influenced by the light of the moon, and the crystal will be absorbed, will absorb the light coming, the energy coming from the full moon, so that then it can be ready. It's ready to go. It's full, and we can use it. Something, for example, that we can have it taking with ourselves as well, in our bed, in our bag, also in our bed. We can place one under our pillow. Crystals have this power of interacting with our energy levels. So for sleeping, for example, if we put a piece of quartz, rose quartz or amethyst, will just have the powerful effect of calming ourselves down. When of course all the crystals have a variety of meaning, but we can also, as I was saying before, taking a little piece of tourmaline with us, and that will help us when we meet our people to be protected, to have a sort of filter, a sort of cocoon that can block us, can create a small barrier, so that we are simply neutralizing the effect and pacifying the effect of people that may interact with us, and willingly or unconsciously they don't realize, but they are sending out this heavy energy that sometimes is simply coming from imbalances that they have in our life. And regarding imbalances, we are going to speak about next week. How do we heal imbalances in our life?